Well, Manny, let me introduce you to Sundance Ranch. This is the road coming in from the north, and we've got a little mostly desert land out here, and there's the mailboxes for the few people who live here, and this is our entryway. And CJ and I, well, we live about half a mile down this road, and we'll show you a picture of that in a little bit. And this is a gate. I think Jim mentioned to you that this road looks pretty nice, but that's because the three of us who live down here keep it maintained. It's not a county road, and it comes out of our pocket to keep it looking nice. And a gate because some of the neighbors, Jim and Phil, well, they have RVs they need to get in and out, and sometimes we need to have deliveries come in too from a big truck. And then the road just kind of looking south now. This is the road that continues south for a few miles. So what I'll do here is I'll just go on down our road and show you some. Well, okay, Manny, here we are, half a mile down that road, and come to our place. I'll just show you some of the scenery here. It's pretty much the same no matter which direction you look in. And over here I'll show you a closer picture, but over here there's one of your neighbors, Phil and Edna, and they moved down here from Michigan, and I'll come back to that road in a minute. But this is looking southwest, and looking more towards the west. And there you see our place, about 1,000 or 1,200 feet in, and this is the entrance to our place. Most of the things don't look too different, no matter which direction you look in. You might notice we have a fence. You have to put up your own fence if you don't want cows coming up and rubbing against your car and your house and your buildings. So let me drive on down a little bit further, and I'll show you the road that leads down to your place. Talk to you in a minute. Okay, well, here we are again, about 600 or 700 feet down from where my gate was, and pan over here, and you can see that there's our house off in the distance a little ways, and here's the road that leads down to your place. You can see there's some tracks. Unusual. I haven't been down here for a while, but this road's not maintained, and when it rains, yeah, you might not get in and out for a day or so. So it depends on how hard it rains. But keep going here a little bit. Look to the south, about 1,000 feet or so down there. You'll see a home. That's Jim. He wrote you an email. He's a snowbird. Moved here from Victorville, I think, or Palmdale, and most of the time spends the summertime up in Colorado and South Dakota. And this is the rest of the road that goes down to the south, and just beyond Jim's place it turns more to the east, and that's about the end of it. And then over here, a little bit closer look at Phil and Edna's place. They just got themselves a mobile home and are installing it. So that's where it is. What I'll do now is I'll take a trip and go down this road to about where I think your property is, and show you some more pictures. Nothing's labeled or marked out here, so sometimes it's hard to see. I'll do my best for you. Talk to you in a minute. Oh, again, Manny. Near as I can tell, this is about where your property starts. That's the road I just drove down, or what's left of the road. Most of it's just a cattle trail, hardly drivable. You got some work to do to make yourself get in and out when the weather's poor. But it looks pretty much the way the rest of the landscape looks around here. It's kind of flat, and as I pan around here, I'm looking due north. Now, someplace right around here is the corner. There aren't any survey stakes, so it's hard to tell. And then just keep going here. It goes about 1,000 feet to the north, or 1,200 feet to the north. And then now here's the rest of that road going west. And you see the road's not much better. It's little more defined down here, but still not drivable when it's wet. So your property goes about 1,250 feet to the west from here. And if we keep going, you can see down here that the road, it looks pretty. It's a nice, beautiful place to live. You might see that house over there. That's Craig and Sue, and they're from, well, Craig grew up here. He's comes and goes. He lives the furthest down, but Sundance Ranches, you can see, is not really a development so much as it's an idea in somebody's mind. And over there you might see some poles. Don't get the idea that electricity is only 1,200 or 1,300 feet away, because that's misconception. Your electricity is probably a mile at least away from where you're going to be. Those poles you see out here, those are not tappable. You can't get into those. So, but further here to the east again, you can see how much you got to go. We're really rural, much different than it is there in Southern California, especially LA. Hang on a minute, I'll drive down a little bit more, and you can see what the rest of this place looks like. Well, we're down a little ways down the road, and it looks a little different down here. This is looking back towards the northeast at your property. That again, I'm not sure exactly where your corner post is going to be, but somewhere down here, probably within 100 feet or so, is where the southwest corner of your property would be. And you can see it looks a little different down here. And I'll tell you, when it rains, this looks like a little bit of a lake. Not much water, a couple inches of water on top because it doesn't drain too well, but nonetheless not drivable. Come back here for a second. You can see that road just kind of disappears. Somebody drove out there. I'm going to drive out and see where they went, but it's not much to do. And there's your nearest neighbor. There's Craig's place again, and you can see, looking to the south here, that it's a big plain. Somebody tried to grow wheat out here about 8 years ago, and it didn't take. There's just not enough water. So that's what we got down here. It's kind of what it looks like. Just to give you an idea, I'm standing at what looks like about the entrance to lot 6, and your lot is 2 lots up there, about 2,500 feet away, and maybe 1,200 feet away actually, because this would be the corner of lot 5 and 6. But anyway, that it changes a little bit. I wanted to show you some of what's down here. See, it gets really big and mesquite, and you ought to be thankful that you don't have a lot 6 to worry about, because if you did, you got some serious money problems to live down here. You notice here that when it's wet, it's got its own river running through here, and Craig tells me, but he has to go over this on his road to get out. But you notice that it just has gouged itself a nice little runway. Of course, it's dry when it doesn't rain, but a couple times a year, this thing is full of water. Stays that way for a while. And again, don't get beguiled by those electric poles. They're big, massive poles. They're not for residential use. So, but anyway, just kind of give you an up close view of what we got out here. Sure is different, and it's not a city, not by any means. So, and the neighbors are few and far between. Nice place to live, and I hope you like it. If I can answer some more questions, don't be afraid to give me a holler. Talk to you later. Bye bye.